Good evening, everybody. Long time no see. If you were here on the live from earlier today, welcome, Sarah. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. You'll love it. You get all kinds of emojis, exclusive emojis, all kinds of fun stuff. And we do members only lives, and I need to start doing better on my members only post because there's a lot of stuff I want to tell y'all. Let me turn my camera on there. Let me show that comment. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It's always so weird. Like, it'll hold back like the most random comments for like review. If you if you comment something, it doesn't even have to be anything bad. It could be like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and it'll be like review, and it's like I don't need to review that. So if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up button as you guys are coming in, I'm going to get everything kind of situated. That way, when it goes on, it turns on, we can go right over to Spectrum. So tonight we're going to be, I didn't realize that, I don't think I saw this was it last night? Okay, so maybe I did see this last night. I may have seen, I think it was last night. Sorry, my brain's not working right now. Last night, Banfield she did like a short commercial, and it was like, tomorrow we're going to do like an Idaho Four special. And then today, with everything that happened with Trump, being arraigned, NewsNation normally doesn't play like throughout the whole day, and they were playing throughout the whole day. So I was like, are they going to even show NewsNation? Because he had an hour to get to Florida, and then it was going to be like 8:30 by the time he landed. And I'm like, well, how long is he going to talk? I figured he was going to take the stage for a good 2 to 3 hour speech, but he didn't. So he must be tired. It must have been a busy day for him. But that helicopter, it's not a helicopter, it's a plane. That plane is huge, y'all. I saw his plane for like the first time. I mean, I guess I've seen it before, but it just looked extra big today. You are not late at all. We just got started 3 minutes ago. I was actually a couple minutes late. So if I'm usually a couple minutes late, which my thing is I will be sitting here ready to go, and then my nose will start running. And I don't know what it is, but I think it's the flowers have gotten me the last couple of days even worse. So it's been kind of crazy. And how is everybody? So tonight on the Banfield, I was like searching to kind of see what they're going to talk about. Ethan's parents are going to actually go on Banfield, and I think they're going to talk about the tulip farm and stuff like that, and just how life is without, having Ethan. And then I'm not sure what else she's going to talk about, because that's only for, I don't know how long you could talk about that to where, you'd move on to a different subject. But that's one of the things she said she was going to talk about tonight. So, and I did do a video, a pre-recorded over that. If you guys didn't check that out, that's a good video. Frank's got his American flags in the chat. I felt a little patriotic today watching the news all day. You're cheating on your fast diet. So when you fast, doesn't that mean that you don't eat though? Scorpion, because I don't know if I could do that. I could fast probably some days. I don't know if I could do that though. Maybe. But yeah, so I wanted to put a picture of them up so that way there was something pretty to look at while we're waiting. I don't think that there's anything on Twitter. That's kind of what I was going through. Let's see if we type in his name or something. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, never mind. So, did everybody have a good Tuesday? Do anything exciting? Anything exciting happen to you today? Sometimes things like that happen, and you forget to tell us. I didn't have a very exciting day myself. You eat once a day, Scorpelina? I do too, probably. Yeah, I was supposed to say, I probably do too. It just depends, really. Like, sometimes I'll want a snack, so I'll snack throughout the whole day. But then there's other days I just won't, and it's not good. I know they were beautiful people with beautiful, beautiful futures ahead. It's so sad. They both, I mean, even if they weren't friends throughout their whole life, and I think that they would have been those type that stayed in contact and stayed as friends, they still would have had like the two groups. I feel like Zaina and Ethan were on the right track to have a very long relationship, a very healthy relationship. From all the TikToks, I know that it's TikTok and people put the good on there, but from what we've seen, and they do seem like really sweet kids. And then Maddie and Kaylee, even if they decided to never date another guy the rest of their life, they still had each other because they were sisters like that. It's just sad. It's hard to find a person that you can be that close with for that long. My day was shit. No, Ashley, what happened to your day? You didn't not flip over any kayakers or anything. I could see that happening. Hiking with the boy. Oh, that sounds like fun, Margot. Man, you guys are all, we saw this little Asian guy and he was probably 70s, 80s. He was pretty old. And he was bouncing a basketball just on his way home. And we're walking the dogs and I'm heaving up the hill and breathing heavy. And I'm like, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. You're getting ready to get hit with a whopper of snow, crazy grandma. Oh my gosh. Here on the prairies of Canada. Okay. My most exciting thing today. I was going to say, where are you from? And then you answered it. Oh, is Canada always cold? Do you guys have a very good summer? Is it warm, or is it just a mild? I feel like you guys, it's always cold. Every time you guys talk about it in the chat, everyone that's from Canada says it's cold. I'm like, oh. That sounds good. You're having a whole dinner while you're driving. Ain't here to judge though. My aunt used to be able to smoke a cigarette, drink a soda. She had a gear shift, the manual. And she could do 3 other things, put makeup on and stuff, all at the same time. That was back in the 90s when you smoked with your kids in the car and you didn't care. It was 91 in Florida, past 3 days. Woo. 81 where you are, Frank. Okay, 81's a little better. 91's, ooh, that's pretty hot. But I mean, if you're by the pool, it was 70 some here today. So it was really nice. It's really, really nice. Oh, let me tell you about a funny comment I got. So I think everybody by now knows, my tulips, you can't even really see them. But I think everyone knows the concept of, the reason behind Ethan's tulips. So, and if you don't, I'll give you a lesson real quick. So basically they took a yellow tulip for vandals, for the University of Idaho and for his school, because his parents said he loved to be a vandal. And they took that and then they took a white, tulip for purity and just love and purity. So that's why they have the yellow and the white tulip. Somebody commented on my post or on my video and they said, did they make that because it's called Ethan's Smile? They said, do they think his teeth are yellow or off-white? That's what she said, off-white, because the yellow and then the white would make it off, more an off. I don't know. It made me laugh really hard. And I said, oh no, honey. Ethan had really nice teeth. I don't think that's what they meant by that. That's just the color that they went with. Because, that's why I had to go over them. Yeah, that's why I had to. Didn't want anyone to think it was anything crazy, it's not his teeth. It's just this, they just named him, I think, Ethan's Smile. And there was a lot of people that were saying this. It made me laugh that that Ethan's favorite flower was a tulip and all this stuff, and he just loved tulips and he loved flowers. And I'm like, there's nowhere where that's been stated anywhere. I said, what 20-year-old dude likes flowers? I said he worked at a tulip farm because it was something for him to do. And he worked there in the summertime and he was a people person. But I think the whole tulip thing, I think he would have loved that idea. But I don't think that he would have been hell yeah, I love tulips. If he was around right now, I don't know any 20-year-old guy that would be I love me some tulips. I asked Vincent that actually. I said, what's your favorite flower? And he was like, and It took him a minute. You know what I mean? Like, because usually guys don't have favorite flowers. That's all. Which there's nothing wrong with it if he does. Tulips are special. They're very pretty. These things look so fake. I need to take a close-up picture of them. They look like waxy. And when I went back today, they had none. No more. Oh, we got 2 minutes. Hey. Hey, Mindy Joe. Hey, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, it really does help the channel. Like. Because y'all don't want me to have to pause this when Banfield's talking to tell y'all to like it. I'm just kidding. You know me. If you want to become a member of our channel, we'd love to have you. I will post that into the comments now. Also, if you have any questions while we're going over the, the Banfield episode that's coming out, drop them in the comments. It doesn't have to be like on what she's talking about. As long as it's like Idaho 4 related, we can answer any questions that you have. Or if you have a question about another case, just drop it in there. I'm sure we can help you out with that one as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I do have it on subscriber only in the chat. It just helps with bots. You only have to subscribe for like a minute, less than a minute. And then if you hate the channel, you can unsubscribe. But I don't think you'll hate the channel. We do talk true crime here every day. So make sure, if that's something you love, subscribe to the channel. And you can always control the notifications. So it's always a good thing. Let me get it on Banfield here because it's 9:59. I can still hear Dan talking.
Lost, obviously, because he lost the population centers like in most of the country. But in terms of counties, there are a lot of places you could go in New York State that are really red. To Ashley.
Let me see. I'm wondering if he was, like if Trump cut into any programming tonight. I don't think he did. Let me double check with Vincent, see if he remembers. Hold on 1 second. That way I know if we have like more time, we could just chit chat and stuff. I walked out there and I swear it came right on as soon as I walked out there. So let me get this one for you guys.
It's a big story, I get you, but it has been going on and on and on, and there are more hearings to come and more motions to be filed, but there is other news as well.
Yeah, we're over Trump today.
A big exclusive that I would like to bring your way tonight on a story that we have been covering for a very long time, and that is the story of what happened to those 4 kids in Idaho, at the University of Idaho, in the off-campus housing. That is a story that has no resolution and a lot of mystery. And tonight we have a primetime exclusive. For their first live primetime interview, the parents of Ethan Chapin are going to join me to talk about how they are turning this experience into something extraordinarily positive. And not only that, they're going to bring this kid to life. He is just, look at that smile. There's a reason that their foundation is called Ethan's Smile, because it is electrifying. And so what the Chapins are doing in Ethan's memory to bring that child back to life and also help other kids go to school is really laudable and commendable. Not only that, it's time for them to tell their story of who Ethan was. Everybody else has been talking about Ethan. They know Ethan. They're going to tell us about who Ethan really was tonight. That is, again, coming up in just a few moments. And then, of course, in Idaho as well, another massive court case. Lori Vallow is in day 2 of her trial. And look, there is a big problem. The justice is secretive in that case. The judge has shut everybody out. They're in an overflow room where they cannot see any of the jurors who are potentially going to be on that panel. This is all jury selection. They cannot see Lori Vallow or her attorneys in person. They can't see any of the reaction in the court. They're stuck in a room with a monitor, and the monitor keeps getting switched off. That is just not how things work in America. Our system of justice prides itself on being transparent. It's why we are America. We do things in full transparency, and the public is part of the process because we are the process. It's our government. These are our courts. And we want to make sure that justice isn't a bag over your head and into a gulag, never to be able to call your family again, because that's the way it works in other places. So we're going to talk a little bit about that secret justice and what happened today in the Lori Vallow courtroom. First, I want to talk about what happened on November 13th, because that was a day that changed the lives of Jim and Stacy Chapin. That was the day they lost their son, Ethan, who was their firstborn by only a minute. He's the oldest of triplets. He came out first, and then the other two came next. And so big brother, as big as you can be and only a minute older than your sister and 2 minutes older than your other brother, was killed that day senselessly and violently. And it has become a story consumed not just in Idaho, not just in America, but all over the world, because the mystery and the senselessness of what happened to Ethan and his girlfriend, Xana, and her two roommates, Maddie and Kaylee, it's just inexplicable. Brian Koberger was arrested on December 30th. His case is playing out, but 4 families have been left to grieve. 4 families have the same questions that everybody else has. How on earth could this have happened? Who is this person? Why did this happen to us? And if it can happen to us, can't it just happen to anyone? That's essentially the question. But in the meantime, the stories of these kids are told in the news and in digital and in the newspapers. Maybe not essentially the exact story of who these kids really were. And that's a really important piece of this puzzle. In their first exclusive live primetime interview, Jim and Stacy Chapin are here with me tonight. And Jim and Stacy, I think it's important to tell our audience that the tulip fields behind you are the Tulip Valley Farm, where Ethan's tulip buds are springing above ground and seeing the sunshine for the first time. And it's part of a new foundation that you've launched to turn what's happened to you into something positive. Before I go any further, I just want to ask how you're doing today, because I know every day is different.
We're doing good. Since what happened to Ethan, Hunter and Maisie have been doing very well. They got a lot of support from their friends at school. They have a lot of support from our family, friends, and we're doing well.
Yeah, I think all things considered, we're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the pictures that you sent me, Stacy, of Hunter and Maisie and Ethan and the two of you, it just shows what an incredibly close family you all have been, and just what a terrific kid Ethan was. Everyone talks about him, but no one knows him like you do. And I would love for you to just bring him to life for us and tell us who your Ethan really was.
Yeah, he was a great kid. I know it shows in all of the pictures. For us and our family, personally, he was kind of the comedian. He could lighten any family situation.
Yeah. He was good.
He was funny. He was kind.
Yeah.
He just kept us all moving forward.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He loved his family, his friends. He just loved to be with everybody and just have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty easygoing. He just loved life. You know, he's a great kid, one of a kind. We miss him greatly.
Yeah.
He's a big hit to our family.
You know, being a big brother by 1 minute, I don't know if that's significant to Maisie and Hunter, if they considered him a big brother, but how are they holding up? You know, they're University of Idaho kids too, right? And this is, you know, you guys are strong. You're grown-ups. They're, 20 years old.
Yeah.
They are, but I'm amazed. I'm amazed at Maisie and Hunter. All things considered, I know I said that before, but they're doing incredibly well under the circumstances. The University of Idaho has been amazing. It has offered all support services, but honestly, sending them back to school, it's come down to their friends. And the fraternity boys in Hunter's fraternity and Maisie's friends in her sorority, they have been amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to tell everybody I secretly, sent a message that said, call anytime you think there's a problem, but we haven't had that.
Nope.
They've been amazing. They get to, their job, we told them when they went back, their job was to go on and just get to be kids. I mean, our life took a pretty solid 45-degree turn on November 13th, but we kind of had a family powwow and said it can't sink us. We still all have to follow our dreams, and especially those two. They have to go on, and that's been our mission all along. It's kind of why we're here today and created the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just let our audience know, you sent me that, symbol in the corner. The QR code in the corner of the screen is going to be up for this whole interview so that our viewers can take a picture of it and donate to your foundation. I think it's really important that we let them know easy access to be a part of this healing, and that the foundation is going to pay for other kids scholarships to go to school, which is so key. School is hard for most kids. This is a particularly unique struggle for the others. How are you helping them get through this year, the other two?
We're just, we're there whenever they need our help. We've gone over there and spent time with them on every other weekend, and they know they have our support. And they have everybody's support, family, friends, everybody. They're very fortunate to have the support they do have. And so are we. I mean, our support is amazing, the people. Yes.
Stacy, the picture that we're showing there, that was the Sweet 16 you threw for the kids. You're amazing, doing 3 cakes like that. I share my birthday with my sister. I didn't make the cakes. So. I can't take credit for those cakes. We had those. We had those done, but I do admit that was the first time we surprised him with a birthday party. So it was good. It was always tough to pull off a surprise, especially Maisie. She always knew something was going down.
Totally.
So we sent them off to the movies with their cousin, and it was good. It was a good day.
It's fun.
Every day with them was a good day.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I share a birthday with my sister. So when I see other siblings on the same birthdays getting treatment like that, I'm always really impressed. It's important, to make sure each birthday is celebrated like that. You mentioned, we've had a few conversations off air, you and I, Stacy, and you mentioned that this year will be really tricky given the fact that the triplets were turning 21. I mean, this is the 21st birthday year, and that's coming in October. That's there's some planning. You got some time, but how are you gearing up for that? What are you doing just to make it to that day and then make it past that day?
Well, ironically, that night, the 29th, is also Parents' Weekend. So that might get us off the hook a little bit. It's just going to be a Parents' Weekend. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
We do have plans. We had plans originally to spend it at the Coeur d'Alene Hotel, the 5 of us, and treat ourselves to a fun 21st birthday, and they could, I don't know, but we're still going to do it.
Yeah. We'll have a beer and call it and let them go on with their friends.
Oh, that night,
that night. The
actual night of their 21st birthday, we'll probably be the first ones to bed. So.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
but we'll still do the... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think for a lot of the viewers who are watching this right now, and, seeing your kids, they're just beautiful. They're just beautiful kids. Yeah. They're probably saying the same thing that I say over and over again, and that is that the two of you are just remarkably resilient, especially to launch the foundation, to turn this into something so positive, to have Ethan's smile represented in this foundation to help other kids. Do you always have this, this brave face? Are you always this resilient?
Yes, we always are. Ethan was a good kid, and this foundation is going to help him transfer his dreams to other kids, and hopefully, they'll have good dreams also out of the whole thing.
The goal is to let kids follow their dreams. So that's why we set the foundation up. It allows us to keep, his name involved. And it's, that's all we have left right now is just to be his voice and to create something that is, great in his memory.
Yeah.
And this is it. And this is why we decided to finally kind of come out of our healing process and.
Right. It was time.
Yep. Do something good.
Yep.
I think you mentioned to someone that the healing process, I'll quote you, you've compared it to the ice wall in the Game of Thrones. Jim, what did you mean by that comparison?
Oh, it's just, at the very beginning, it's so hard at the very beginning of all this. And then it's like climbing an ice wall to get up into where you're healing better and moving forward. And so it's a huge undertaking you have to take. I can't hardly even explain it. It's one of those, you have to live it.
You don't wish it on anybody.
Yeah, you wouldn't wish it on anybody.
No.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And we're at the point now we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
We have our days.
Has its moments.
And we move past it.
Yep.
I mean, Stace and I spend a lot of time together talking over stuff, and it's working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sent me some videos earlier of Ethan, and they're so delightful just to see him singing with his friends. I just want to play some of those videos for our viewers so they can see Ethan in his better days. Take a look at this.
They're great.
Such a such a joy to see him like that. I often wonder
That's
as a mother
my most
myself.
favorite video.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
he just
Sorry.
lived his whole life that way.
Yeah.
I mean, what you see in those videos that was him, 100%.
Yep.
And that's why everybody wanted to be around him. I mean, he was just that kid you wanted to be around.
Yeah.
He just loved everybody. He did.
Well, and speaking of love, I mean, he had seemingly found, maybe one of the first great loves of his life in Xana Kernodle. And I wondered, as parents, what was that like watching Ethan, falling in love with Xana?
Oh, it was, I don't know, at 20. I don't know if that's true love or what it is. They were dating.
They were cute.
They were
together.
just great
They
kids.
were great.
They were. We love Xana. She was very
She's a great
special
kid.
to him. Yes.
Have you been able to talk to any of the other families, Jim, about, their grieving process as well?
No, I haven't.
I've talked to him.
Stace has. I haven't talked with anyone. No.
Tell me about it, Stacy.
We've just reached out.
Yeah. I mean, you're certainly in an exclusive club that nobody wants, nobody asks to be a member of. And when they become members, it is bewildering. Have you had a chance to talk to other people who've walked in your shoes? I mean, not that anyone's shoes are ever going to be the same, but at least similar?
I haven't. I haven't even got to that point in my healing process over this whole thing to discuss anything else, experiences like this. I'm still trying to deal with it myself. And it's probably going to be some time before I do that.
Yeah. And Stacy, what about
I think
you?
Jim and I spend a lot of. I think Jim and I just spend a lot of time together. I think we're a pretty good partner. We have an incredible partnership between the two of us, and we just really have leaned in on each other. So, and our two kids. That's where our
That's where the
whole
focus.
foundation is.
Yeah.
I mean, for 20 years, our foundation has been our family, and so we lean in there.
Yeah.
You know, I watched you, Stacy, at the vigil. You were so incredibly strong and very profound, especially since it was so soon after this tragedy. I want to just remind our viewers about what you said, because it was all about, you know, helping and giving advice to other families at a time when you yourself were just brand new, you know, in this journey. So I just want to play that moment, if I can, for our audience.
Okay.
We are eternally grateful that we spent so much time with him. And I want to remind you that that's the most important message that we have for you and your families, is to make sure that you spend as much time as possible with those people, because time is precious and it's something you can't get back.
We're now 5 months into this ordeal, and clearly we're moving towards a trial and justice. And justice looks different for a lot of people. Is there anything that either of you wants to say about justice and what it would be in this case?
No,
No, I'm not going to comment
we're not commenting on that.
at all. But I will comment that she's a wonderful person and a wonderful mother. And she raised three.
We raised three great kids.
Three great kids, and we're down one, unfortunately, but we're going to move on.
Yeah. So let's talk about the foundation we created.
Yeah, let's do the foundation.
Tell me. Tell me everything about the foundation. Again, I'll remind our viewers the QR code is up in the corner of the screen if they want to give to the foundation. But what's great is that there you are at the Tulip Farm, where Ethan and his siblings worked planting bulbs. And that's obviously the connection to the Tulip Farm. How can people get the tulips and give to the foundation?
Okay, so you can order the tulips directly off of the foundation page, or you can go to Tulip Valley Farms and you can order from the website directly. But they don't ship until October, because they're currently in the ground. And when they ship in October, that's when you actually plant them. But then the tulip bulbs became fresh cut flowers, and that were called Ethan's Smile. And that's when Jim and I decided that we needed to get involved in just selling Ethan's Smile. And then some climates cannot grow a tulip, and so we created a sweatshirt. And then I remember early on somebody said to us we were going to need a foundation, and at that point it was like, I had no idea what that actually meant. So it evolved. It evolved into something that all of a sudden we were like, oh, we need a foundation. So we got it set up, and it is set up to, currently it's early on, but it is set up to scholarship kids out of Conway School, where our kids went to school. And to help them pursue their college or, post-high school dreams. And also my personal goal for the foundation is to have a 4-year fully paid scholarship for a kid to go to the University of Idaho, because we love that school. So it's been amazing.
It is.
Okay, well, here's the sweatshirt, by the way. I'm holding it up just so people can see the Tulip Valley Ethan Smile sweatshirt that Stacy and Jim were talking about. And just if your QR code's not working, it's tulipvalley.com/Ethan Smile if you want to give to the foundation. I am sending you a big virtual hug and a kiss, and I'm wishing you all the strength.
Thank you.
And I hope all our viewers at the same time are doing the same thing. Yeah, go ahead, Stace.
Yes. Yeah. The foundation is ethanssmile.org, And it has 2 S's in the middle of it. So ethanssmile.org.
Okay, good news.
So,
Good to clarify too. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you to both of
Thank
you,
you.
and I mean
Thank
it when I
you.
say I wish you all the strength and love in the world, and I'm very thankful that you came on with me tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Jim and Stacy Chapin joining me tonight on the program, telling us Ethan's story from their perspective, because it is the most important perspective. Here's a reminder. If you want to support them, go to ethanssmile.org, or you can go also to the tulipvalley.com/ethansmile and give early, give often. Still to come, a live report from another Idaho case. Brian Enton joining me from outside the Ada County Courthouse with a full report on day 2 of the case against Lori Vallow. And then after, 3 Florida teenagers shot to death in 3 separate locations in less than 48 hours. Are they connected? And are other kids there in danger? I will ask the sheriff, who joins me live next.
He will not go.
Okay. Well, we can watch the other part too about Lori if you guys want to. I didn't realize it was going to be that short. But I wouldn't mind watching Lori Vallow day 2 to see what she did in court. If she did anything, I mean, other than take notes. We only can go by what, so there's no cameras allowed, and there's no phones allowed, and there's no sound allowed, no recording, there's no nothing. So you basically have to just go based on whoever's sitting in the courtroom that day, what they get. So Brian, always outside. He's always outside. I can read some of your comments since we're I think the worst thing people could say to me whenever I was going through stuff was like, how you doing? That was like, it's like, can we just like skip that question? Because I'm not going to say fabulous. Actually, I would say fabulous, but. Oh, jury selection for Lori Vallow, yeah. And everyone handles grief differently. You're right. I think that they're extremely strong people. But it took them a lot to get that way. We went over there, like the little bit of interviews that they had done, and it was really sad. They weren't very, they were just so incredibly heartbroken. But I do think that there's a very strong family unit. And I think that's going to be so good for them. I'm going to go back up and chat a little bit. I'm jealous how they're kicking this grief journey's arse. Well, you know, Janet, it's probably, he said actually, I did a video yesterday, I think, on it. And he said he still cries in his coffee every morning when he watches the sunrise. So I think it's just a day by day kind of thing. Yeah, dealing with the loss is hard, and you shouldn't bury your children. I also feel you shouldn't bury your parents when they're too young either, but that's another conversation, you know? Oh, Joe looking at us. I couldn't understand. I couldn't even, oh yeah. It's hard. It's really hard to get over, especially if it's a loved one, like if it's a partner. I've never had to do it, but my mom did. And I couldn't even imagine. Only after 7 years of being with Vincent, I couldn't imagine. My parents were together for 30. I don't know how she put up with his ass for 30 years. I really don't. I refuse to answer, how are you? Yeah. Slow ride and overlanding. Yeah, me too. I'm just like, I'm doing great, I'm fabulous. And I know people don't mean it when they say that. They just like, I think they say it. They don't really, they're not meaning to say it, but it's just like, oh, pick something new to say. Oh, Frank, thanks. Yeah, I am a miracle in my own right. Oh, Janet, I bet you are. How old is your son? How old is he? I bet he's proud. All sons are. My brother was a mama's boy. Let me tell you that. All right, let's see what's going on with Lori.
In Ocklawaha, Florida, in Marion County, it is a very...
I think they're going to talk about these 3 teens first, but we can listen to this if you guys want to. Yeah, we'll just listen to the whole program. How about that?
The actual detachment, because that's a population of only 1,500 people. And Thursday night, a 16-year-old girl was found dead. Friday morning, a 17-year-old boy was found dead. Saturday, a 16-year-old girl also found dead. All 3 of them know each other. All 3 of them shot. That's not normal, especially in a town of 1,500 people. So what I can tell you, and it is very little at this early stage, is that 16-year-old Layla Silvernail was the first one to be found dead Thursday night, and it's believed she was found still alive in a dumpster. She did not survive these injuries. Ultimately, her family had to take her off life support at the hospital, where she died. The 17-year-old boy and the 16-year-old girl, their names are being withheld because of Marcy's Law, which allows the victims to stay unidentified if their families so choose. But leading up to this incident, we're trying to figure out what exactly happened, that 3 kids in this little town would have been found dead. Joining me now, hopefully with some answers, is Sheriff Billy Woods of Marion County. He is working this case. Sheriff, this is an astounding story of, proportions that don't make sense in a town of 1,500 people. Did I get any of those facts wrong? And are there additional facts that might help make this make sense?
There are a couple that I'll clear up for you as go along here, but yeah, this is a very tragic event. You're absolutely correct in the size of the community out there in Ocklawaha. The bodies were found at 3 different times, 3 different locations. Now I'll start with the first one because that's one of the rumors that's been going around. Our first victim, the 16-year-old female, she was not found in the dumpster. She was found alive, but she was not in any condition to talk to my deputies, talk to investigators. She was actually laying on the ground just outside of the dumpster itself. There's a lot of information coming in, regarding this case, and I've got 15 investigators that has been working on it since that night of the first body being found. And what we have so far is what we do know is, you mentioned it, they knew each other. They were together leading up to the event. And right now, everything that we have is connecting the event. It was all the same event, although they were found in 3 different locations. Now, I don't want to, Ocklawaha, like you said, is a very small community. The first 2 bodies were found in the same subdivision. The 3rd body was found in the vehicle. How we got to there is because after the 2nd body was found is when we started looking for the first victim's vehicle. And that's where it was found, partially submerged into the lake that we have in that end of Ocklawaha. Then the body
Sheriff,
was
let
found.
me jump in. If I can jump in there for a moment, because what you're talking about is the second 16-year-old female, who at this point is unnamed, was actually found in the vehicle that belonged to the first 16-year-old victim, Layla Silvernail. And that vehicle was partially submerged. Where in the vehicle was this second victim located?
Well, at this time, I cannot divulge that information because it's still part of the investigation. And I'm, I know everybody wants to know, and I would love to tell people all of the information, but to ensure the integrity of the case, to ensure that we have all these dots connected, the pieces of the puzzle put together, there's information that we can't give out because we do have suspects. We have multiple suspects in this particular incident. So That I
Okay,
can't tell
actually,
you.
can we, that, I respect that. Talk to me a little bit about multiple suspects. What kind of leads do you have, and who are they?
Well, again, I can't give you names, but right now we have obviously more than two, probably, is what the information is being given to us to what occurred, and being multiple shooters.
Multiple shooters, anyone in custody at this point?
No.
Do you know the whereabouts of these suspects?
Well, yes, we do. I can answer that one.
Do they know they are suspects?
That I do not know. That's one I couldn't answer for sure, because I obviously I'm not in their mind and thinking. If they believe that we know that they are, so I don't know.
Can you tell me this? There's some word that this is, I'll use your words, wannabe gang activity or hybrid gang activity. What does that mean with regard to this case?
Most people refer to them as neighborhood gangs. You know, it's not the full gang that we define in law enforcement that you see. And I equate it to gangs of today are like the mob in the 1920s, where you had a defined structure of the boss and all of his those individuals below him and working their way down. There's structure to it. These particular gangs don't have that formal structure. They don't have the bosses, and a lot of times there's rivalry between these neighborhood gangs and doing stuff. Now, all gangs do
And Sheriff, Sheriff, I have about 10 seconds left, but I do want to ask you this last question. Do you have any video evidence, any surveillance, doorbell cam, anything else that might be helpful in this case?
We do.
Anything you're able to share?
Not at this time. I can't. I wish I could.
No, I fully understand.
Yeah, what I can assure you is we will get the individuals. They will be arrested.
Sheriff Billy Woods, I look forward to having another interview with you and asking you about those suspects and their names and maybe some mugshots as well. Will you keep us updated?
Absolutely. Sure enough, we'll, Ashley.
Thank you so much. Sheriff Billy Woods joining us tonight. And I'll just put the call out to the audience as well. If you know anything about this story, you can call in tips to this number, 352-368-3542. I know it's hard to remember those numbers, so take a screenshot of your TV right now, and you can actually talk to Detective Ryan Smith, or you can call in anonymously to the Crime Stoppers of Marion County. There's another number there, 352-368-7867. If you know anything, that would be extremely helpful, and we are looking to update that case hopefully very soon. Coming up, Lori Vallow, the accused triple murderer, face to face again with people who may be deciding her fate. Today is day 2 of jury selection in her trial. Tonight, we know what the lawyers are asking potential jurors to see if they are a fit to pass judgment on the so-called doomsday mom. We're going to tell you what they were asking. We're live in Boise next.
Live in Boise next. Let's see what they have to say about Miss Lori Vallow Daybell and herself. Wish we could get like some pictures at least of her. You know, they haven't even been getting her like going into the courthouse, have they? Like last time, you remember they would get her like, going in the courthouse, coming out of the courthouse. Does anyone know if they've gotten her like entering or leaving? Because she should have to like walk in at least and let people see her. Yeah, I'm wondering why. So it sounded like it was... I don't remember the last victim that she was talking about there with the 3 victims in Florida, but the first 2 were 16 years old. One was found alive laying by a dumpster. One was found in the first victim's car, submerged in water. And then the other 2 were found, and the bodies were found in the subdivision, they said. Which if you're not familiar with like a subdivision, it's just basically like a housing development. Has a bunch of houses, so it's crazy. Oh yeah, the audio is very, yeah. Yeah, it's very awful. It would probably be more me commentating it. Turn the volume down on it so we could hear me talking. Does anybody have any dandruff? This is Medifax. They want to help you. Maybe look, maybe Head and Shoulders will call me tomorrow and be like, hey, do you want a brand deal? I'll be like, sure. I don't use other stuff than that. I actually just got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. I've been cleansing this place. I've been throwing away everything. They got the pics the day she got off the DP. Vallow smiling. Oh, yeah. I just wasn't sure if they had gotten any pictures of her. Like, I don't know if they gotten any more. Oh, yeah. She was smiling up a storm. Looked very pretty that day for court, you know. I didn't see her smile. Joe looking ass. Oh, I didn't see that. I was listening in on another creator's live, but I was cleaning and stuff. Oh, I felt so terrible for him, for Al. Oh, my lordy. And then yesterday, what Gannon said about the burn, he was just worried about his burns. We had never heard that before. My lordy, lordy, lordy. Just too much. Yeah, toilet paper rolls in jail. Yeah, that's what's up. My mom used to just make me get those pink curlers, those pink styrofoamy kind of, the foamy ones, like with the hard elastic bands. And you'd have to like get your head like the perfect spot. They were terrible. I think my mom did that for torture. Oh, Chasey noticed it? Oh, I'll have to look on their Twitter then. Because that's where they've been posting a lot of pictures. That's how Summer's going to do her next client's hair. You should do that. That's what you should do, Summer. Be like, I just got some toilet paper rolls in the back. That's how we're going to work with this today. Oh, you want to do a perm? It's fine. It'll be fine. You want these tight rolled? Or do you want them more wider? We could do like, you can get like paper towel ones, toilet paper ones, so they're different shapes and sizes. You think she burned them on purpose? See, I'm not sure about the candle part. I don't know if he maybe spilt the candle over, just like his 11-year-olds, that they have accidents. And then she picked it up and then maybe threw it on him out of rage, or just that's when she hurt him. But I mean, something happened there. And you may be right on the money.
I mean, I think we've all been through a few experiences in our lives where we thought we knew someone and then, Now imagine that person you're trying to get to know is going to sit in judgment of someone who may have to spend the rest of her life in prison. And you only get to ask a few questions to get to know them. That's what jury selection's all about. So you can imagine how stressful that is, how the stakes are so incredibly high. That's what Lori Vallow's lawyers and the prosecutors who want to put her away are dealing with for the second day in a row today in Ada County. And some of those questions are trying to determine, do you got any bias? Do you understand the law? How's your stomach? Can you handle graphic evidence? These are some of the questions, but Brian Enton knows all of the questions because he has been covering this case. He's standing by live right now in Boise, Idaho. Brian, this is a frustrating process, not just for us, the viewers, who don't have a live feed to this trial, but for you as well, who is literally there in the courthouse, not allowed to be in the courtroom. You're shuffled off with the rest of the press into an overflow room where there's a media feed that sometimes works. So take me to day two.
Yeah, I mean, it is frustrating. Of course, we came all the way here. We want to be in the courtroom covering every little second, like with other trials that we go to. But we are in this media room. Everybody is, the media, the public. They're not allowed in the courtroom during jury selection. There is the video feed, but they take the feed away. They cut it off when they start asking the jurors more personal questions. And then they also cut it off sort of sporadically at other times. Today, again, they started talking about scheduling and other issues with the case. The judge decided to cut the feed. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't even know if they went to lunch. The media and the public sort of just left in the dark.
So the last we talked, I think you said that they had a pool of 1,800 people, which in the Boise area, I mean, it's a lot of people, but I guess it's not that many. Certainly Boise's not a tiny town. How are they doing in terms of weeding them out? Like, how many people are getting bounced right away? How many people sound like they could be great jurors?
Yeah, so today it seemed like they bounced more people. And you mentioned the questions were interesting. A lot of it's about bias. They're asking a lot of people if they've seen the story in the media. They keep asking about the Netflix series. Have you seen the Netflix series? Did you see a preview of the Netflix series? Have you seen the reporter chasing Lori Vallow in Hawaii? Those questions come up over and over again. And then other really interesting questions. They asked the jurors a couple times, in a bank robbery, would you blame the getaway driver as much as the actual robber? They asked several jurors, if a kid steals a cookie from a cookie jar, but you didn't see it, but you see all the crumbs around the jar, can you still say that kid did it? So obviously, try to figure out reasonable doubt here, trying to feel out the way these potential jurors think.
Sure, direct evidence, circumstantial evidence, and then also I can hear what you're saying. That's the whole conspiracy. Are you, because this is she's in a conspiracy, the prosecutors allege, and so they want to know if the jurors can handle that and believe that a conspirator is just as bad as an operator. But you've had a little bit of help just in terms of talking this out with people that you're working with. The press is kind of operating as a group because you're kind of all stuck together in one big room.
We have had help. Everybody gets to know each other. The frustration everybody sort of has together. I actually want to bring in Lauren Matthias, a host of Hidden True Crime podcast. We all kind of sit next to each other. I mean, it is sort of a weird situation, sort of being kept in this room.
Yeah, it is. And they have like cookies and coffee for us.
They do have coffee.
People are mingling, and we're all trying to watch and listen, and it's hard. Some people have better views than others. Some people are hearing things, others don't. It's kind of a team effort, but it is difficult.
And they're strict, Ashley. I told you earlier. I mean, no cameras allowed in the courthouse, no phone cameras. There was someone who took like a selfie or something earlier and got in trouble from a deputy. So they're very, very strict.
Can I ask you guys, is anybody else other than me blowing a gasket at this?
Is anyone other than me hating that jacket she's wearing? Can someone get her a new coat? I'll buy it. That looks like what is that stuff called? I'll give you the name. Hold on.
As I am.
It's frustrating, and it's just different. I mean, for example, we wanted to get Lori Vallow coming out of court. You can't see her, but the car leaving. So our photographer, Luis, sets up, and they say, absolutely not. Can't have the camera here. Can't be positioned, even though it's outside. The rules are strict.
It's very, very strict, and the rules are strict. And even at one point, she was silhouetted. Lori Vallow was silhouetted sort of this morning on her camera angle. It's already a far away shot. And so I know the one reporter asked if we could get a curtain behind so that she wasn't shadowed. And then they said, well, there are no curtains. I mean, well, can we fix this problem? I mean, it's just on and on. Yeah. And you don't know if the audio, as you say, is just turning off, or if they're, on accident and you need to report it, or if, oh no, they're just turning it off once again so we can't hear anything.
Yeah, and I like to remind people that, boo-hoo the press, but we are the press. Like the people are the press. We're the eyes and ears for the people. And so they're shutting out the people. They're not just shutting out the press, they're shutting out the people. And the people are paying this tax bill to the tune of millions. So listen, Brian Enton, Lauren Matthias, thank you so much for struggling through it and keeping up, the details for us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Ash.
Thanks, Ashley.
All right, still to come, inside the mind of a killer. The Nashville school shooter left behind pages and pages of writings and drawings, her innermost thoughts, and even plans for...
Well, we'll watch it. We only have like another 10 minutes left of this episode. I can't think of the ugly ass bags, but not the 31 bags, but they were They were named after somebody, like a girl. And they make them in wallets, and then they make them in purses, and they are just, to me, I mean, it's just not my cup of tea. But let me tell you all about my cup of tea, because even though I own a boutique, your girl has no fashion. I redid my closet today. I took everything out, took all my like winter stuff out that I didn't wear, and put the stuff back in. Most of the stuff I don't even wear. And it's like this, I have like this much, nothing. It's all solid colors, every single thing pretty much. Apparently, I don't like to go out of the box, step out of the box at all. So maybe I need a jacket like hers. That thing was ugly. The first time I saw that, I don't care. I love you, Laura. Love you, girl. But that jacket's got to go. Vera Bradley. Yes, Jan. Jan's the winner. That's it. Vera Bradley. That's it. That's the one. And then Teresa came in right after. It's not my cup of tea. They used to be really trendy, even when they first came out. And people loved Vera Bradley. Like, they loved it. They thought it was like the bees and knees. It just never caught my eye. It just was never my, my cup of tea. Oh, look, he just had a cup of tea in his hand at the perfect time. So yeah, I'm all solids, yeah. Vincent asked me today if I had on his sweatpants, and I told him to mind his own business. So you bet what the answer was there. It was a yes. I was wearing his sweatpants. He doesn't wear them. So I was like, I'm wearing them. Sad thing is, they kind of fit me. That's okay, though. I don't know who she's talking about next. She said something about another. I don't know who she's talking about. Well, I figured we just close out the whole Banfield episode. Oh, that's okay, Ashley. You can get caught back up on it. Oh, your kids bought you a Coach. Well, Vincent bought me he bought me a Coach bag for my birthday in October. It's a satchel bag. It's actually a men's bag, but it's like a big satchel bag, and it's for like my laptop. And if I needed, like, if I were to go to a meeting, which who am I going to meet now? It would be a good bag for that. And then we were going to a dinner party, so he got me this like little Michael Kors bag, just to have like as like an everyday, because like I have a lot of purses. I might not be able to dress very well, but I got me some good bags. Yeah, Coach bags are good too. They really are. Like, they don't fall apart. None of mine have ever fallen apart. I had like a little wristlet that did, like the little part of it, like that part, but I had that thing forever. So I wouldn't mind a Louis Vuitton though. Actually, I want their luggage if I were to get anything. Don't even travel that often, like once a year. But when I do, when I fly into LAX, I want to have some bomb luggage. Yeah, Kim, is Vera Bradley. You guys know it. I knew if I said it long enough, I was going to look up the store that used to be sold at and try to find it. Oh, yeah. I would just like take something as small as you can get, Teresa. Like something small like my bag. Something you can put across to you because you don't want your arm to hurt, just take in whatever you're allowed to take. Me too. I have so many bags, and I got a bunch above the closet. I need to get them out. I was wanting like a certain book bag. So then I have a Coach book bag too. Actually, he got me that. He got, for 30 years, it's like leather. So he got me 3 things of leather, and it was all like, Coach. He did good. He does good with bags. He picks them out too.
It was that caused a 28-year-old female to go into an elementary school and gun down 3 kids and 3 educators and administrators. And now the list of what they got when the police executed a search warrant on her house, the inventory of what they got from that house, it's getting us there. I think we're getting closer. We've certainly learned that Audrey Hale planned this for months and considered the actions of other mass murderers. She shot 152 times in that school. She left a suicide note, left a whole bunch of personal writings and artwork. Here's what the police found: 20 plus notebooks and journals, including a memoir. Some of those notebooks had notes about school shootings and firearms courses. Loads and loads of electronics, like, laptops and tablets and phones and all sorts of stuff like that, but also a notebook with passwords written on them. So that's great. That means that they'll be able to get in more than likely, a lot easier, take less time. A psych folder, a medical folder, health cards, a school photo from when she was at the Covenant School, several yearbooks from when she was at the Covenant School, a suicide note I mentioned, and then there was this really bizarre thing, a redacted item that was on the list, and this is what it says. It says, quote, Justin Landis, TNDL. I'm wondering if it's Tennessee driver's license. Don't know. They don't say. But then something is blacked out, and there's no word on who Justin Landis might be. There was this list of weapons that they seized, and let's just list them off for you. A pump-action Mossberg 950 shotgun, a pump-action Winchester 1200 shotgun, a bag with targets and some empty ammo boxes that was found in a closet, miscellaneous firearms accessories that were found in a shoebox that was in a closet, and then 2 ammo boxes, 2 hard cases, miscellaneous firearms accessories and ammo, and 40 9mm cartridge casings. A lot of that was in a closet. Remember, parents said they didn't know anything about weapons. Maybe that closet wasn't something they used to look in. But that's what the police were able to find so far, though. They are not telling us what was in the manifesto that they called, what the writings actually said. So we're still waiting on all of that. Still to come, Curtis, cousin Eddie Smith. Remember that guy? The man who allegedly shot Alex Murdaugh in the head? He is out of jail, but he is still ready to probably shed some secrets. Is he going to reveal what he knows about Murdaugh's crimes? What's he going to say? And what might he know about Murdaugh's so-called tombstone buddies? Yes, that is a real term. Not me making it up. These are friends of Murdaugh saying he had tombstone buddies. I'll explain next.
Tombstone buddies. What the hell is that? Does anybody know what a tombstone buddy is? Old cousin Eddie, he's back. I go to bed at 7, but I know you are on. I set my alarm to wake up. Oh, spilled beans. Thank you. And thank you guys all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. I thought this was going to be like a whole... So I'm going to start asking. I'm going to start writing Ashley Banfield because I'll show you her thing. It says that it's an Idaho special, 10 o'clock. Going to have Ethan's parents. And I figured it was like the whole hour. Remember her last special? She showed us all the same video from the night before because I had already showed him the night before. I was so mad at her. And then she showed us like one new second, like 5-minute clip. I was like, Ashley, I'll get you, girl. I'm glad I'm not getting me at a 10,000 milestone. I'm glad I'm not getting me an Ashley Banfield one right now. I'm sticking with Nancy. I love her. And Nancy didn't come out with anything tonight, which I was surprised. Oh, did he? Judge Newman gave cousin Eddie strict bond. He probably won't go nowhere anywhere. Anyway, he probably don't have no money to go anywhere. You know? I think that, yeah, I think that town's going to maybe not be so scared to come forward with information anymore. And I am excited that they have a couple people in the Stephen Smith case, which we didn't cover that on this channel because I didn't think that Buster Murdaugh had anything to do with it, in my opinion. And I didn't know if it was really going, but then all of a sudden, oh, thank you, Pamela, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. She's so sweet to me. Thank you for the $9.99. I appreciate that so much. Helps the channel grow. But yeah, no, I didn't think that Buster had anything to do with it. But what is weird to me is they had this case for, what was it, like 10, 12 years? And all of a sudden, when stuff gets starts talking about it again, all of a sudden now they have 2 suspects in custody, or not in custody, but they have 2 suspects in mind. And it's like, well, where were these 2 suspects way back when? Because it's like they have all this information out on them. Like they're like, we know this, we know that. And then I'm like, well, how are you coming up with these people all of a sudden? When couldn't you have solved this case 12 years ago for this mother? So I don't know. So yeah, what they probably did, Trace, was put him on a tether, like an ankle monitor, and he can go to work. And so it'll like, when you're on an ankle monitor, it'll let you go to certain places without it like pinging, but it has to be certain times. So you have got to like bust your butt, get out the door, get to work, make sure you're there so you're that way your ankle monitor doesn't go off. And then they give you like 10 minutes, I believe, after it goes off to call, which you can get pretty far in 10 minutes, I feel like. Broke that thing off. Yeah, getting Murdoch out of the way and behind bars, yeah. And I think the reason why the Murdochs showed up at the crime scene so fast, I don't think it was suspicious. I think it was them. They were money hungry. Because when I had my car accident, they were trying to get to me on the phone. I couldn't even talk, y'all. Had my mouth wired shut. Couldn't even talk. And they were calling me. Like, my brother had to take he had to take the reins on that one. Because, you know. Oh, with arrest monitors occasionally. They're probably pretty good patients, though. I don't see them being too bad. Oh, ciao, Rich. Have a good night. Two of the boys, one of them have a farm by Moselle. Wow. I didn't know that. So we might have to do like a deep dive into that. Because it is a weird case. It's very weird. I'm glad she's getting justice. That poor woman.
Smith is a free man tonight. Kind of. He's got a murder, and he's not supposed to leave house arrest. But Cousin Eddie got a shot at bail. Remember on Labor Day weekend of 2021, just 3 months after the Moselle murders, Smith supposedly shot Alex Murdaugh in the head. That was the allegation on the side of a country road. The problem is that Murdaugh's story was so screwy. First, Murdaugh said he was ambushed by a stranger while he was shooting a tire, and then he changed his story, said that he had asked Curtis Smith to shoot him in the head to help him collect on a $10 million life insurance for his kid. That doesn't sound logical either, but he's a former client, distant cousin, alleged drug dealer, and alleged money launderer for Murdaugh. And whether he testifies in Murdaugh's upcoming financial trials is anybody's guess, or what he might say, specifically about something called Murdaugh's Tombstone Buddies. Apparently a secretive group of Murdaugh's confidants who will take secrets to their grave. Tomorrow, we are going to dig into these Tombstone Buddies, find out who they are, what they might have to say, and what it means for this whole sordid tale. Meantime, I am calling it a night. I'll see you right back here tomorrow, 10 p.m. See you then.
Okay. This is going to be about Trump, because this was all over the news today, so. Not an Ashley fan, but I love Nancy. I remember her when I was younger. Yeah, me too. I love me some Nancy. I tried to look up some Nancy stuff tonight. She did do a Brian Walsh video, and I kind of want to go over it sometime on a live, because he did get indicted for his wife's murder, which, I mean, we were all seeing that coming. But she goes over his Google searches, because he goes over... him and Letitia need to take a note out of the do not Google handbook. Yeah, he's talking about Nancy Grace. I didn't even notice that you didn't even put Grace behind there, and I knew exactly who you were talking about. That's so funny. Well, thank you guys all for being here. Oh, there's Kumo. And then Angela, I forget her last name, but she's the new lady. I don't think I have anything up here. Let me see what's going on in life on Twitter, if there's anything. Probably not. No. Someone asked if you could be fair and unbiased if you served on the Lori Daybell trial. I don't know. I would say no. Me, no, I couldn't do it. Even if, like, because the judge was like, well, have you heard or did you see the video of Brett Buffington? I think that's who it was, or whoever, running after her in Hawaii. Like, why are you going to ask that question? Why don't you just ask, do you know anything about Lori Vallow Daybell? Because if you're going to ask questions like that, like, I'm going to be out, as soon as I leave for a break, I'm going to be searching. Who's this broad? Who are we talking about? I'm just that person. I mean, I would have to know the answers. If they were giving them to me a little bit like that, give me a little hintsies. Not me. Oh, Nate Eaton. That's who it was. They're both really good. They're both really good reporters. I'm on the Brett Buffington train right now because he's the one that's doing Trent's case, and we did do a live earlier today over Trent. So if you guys want to check that out, it is there. We did one around like 4:15, just try to break up the Letitia Stout case because, like, a lot of people were watching it, and I figured y'all were getting sick of hearing it. But it wasn't actually bad. It was Al was on the stand, so it wasn't bad. I want her to go up there, and if she goes up there, then we're definitely going to be streaming that. But maybe we'll see what we can. We'll see what we'll do tomorrow. Because I know that I don't mind streaming it if people will come and watch it. That's all. And then I think I put out a couple like pre-recorded videos. So there's some stuff to watch on there. And then we did a live last night. Was it last night? Or maybe it was during the day. Oh, he's a good Secret Santa? Oh. I like doing Secret Santas. I like just doing donations, like toy drives. I'll probably end up doing them for this year. At the end of the year, do a toy drive. Something like that. I have like pimple on my cheek in the weirdest spot. I'm 37. Why? I haven't murdered the Lord. I don't think I have, Olivia. Unless that's the new one that came out. I was trying to see. I bet all those people are lying in hopes of being a juror. I would be. But then I know they would be able to tell in my face. They'd be like, do you know Lori Vallow? And I'd be like, looking right at them, no. No, I don't know her. The Florida witnesses. So, do you think that's a good day? Is that going to be the guy, the Florida witnesses, like the men that found Gannon? He murdered him. Wow, Olivia. Oh wait, that's I'm 38. I'm 37, Lisa. I keep saying I'm 38. I'm only 37, y'all. Yeah, I'm still really young, but I can feel it. If it wasn't for that car accident I was in, I probably wouldn't feel as old as I do now. Well, she stuffed Gannon into a suitcase, then went to the store, Publix probably, down in Florida and bought some chicken to put around him. But I'm going to say this because this is true. She's an idiot. I've been to Florida a million times. Not a million, but I've been to Florida enough to know that there are so many coastal roadways to where there's water as far as you can see on both sides of the road. As far as you can see. And she takes the highway that has some land on it and throws them off over there. Which I guess, thank God she did that. But world's dumbest freaking criminals. Like, oh, I'm your younger daughter's age. Oh. Oh, yeah, and Letitia has put on some weight. So her not getting her vegan diet or whatever, or her kosher meals, she's doing okay. She's okay. Because the girl was looking a little full. And I'm full right now, so I can say it. Bye, Jan. I'm getting off here too soon. But yeah, that's all I really have for you guys tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button. I love you guys when you do that. Don't make me have to come and knock on your door and say, did you hit the like button tonight? Knock, knock. I'll come really early in the morning. That'd be funny. She being too many honey buns. Yeah, it's some ramen. With no, I guess ramen with water. She's a terrible person. But we will talk about her some more, so don't you worry about that. I may stream tomorrow. If I don't stream in the morning, maybe I'll stream after lunch or something, like along those lines. But thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys all in the next video, in the next live. Bye, guys.